Can everyone's attention, please? All right, so my name is Stephan. I'm the current SGA Vice President of Finance. I'm also the chairman of the election committee. This is Amber. She's also on the election committee with me, and she serves as the Vice President of Info Media for Student Government. So if we're all here today, we're for the SGA election Meet the Candidates event. So we're going to have a panel of next year's student government. All the candidates are going to be here. We're going to ask a variety of questions. And we please ask all of you, the student body, to ask as many questions, whatever questions you want to be addressed for any of your concerns, anything really. So we're going to be live streaming this. So if you have your friends that aren't currently here or attending another meeting and they really want to learn more about the candidates, please. An email was sent out yesterday. So if you could share that link with them, that'd be greatly appreciated. So the order of today's event is going to go senators first. So there's going to be 4 senators up here. Again, like I said, you could ask whatever questions you want. Following that is going to be the uncontested executive board. So that's going to be the vice president of media and the vice president of finance. The following positions are going to be the vice president and president, both of which are contested with 2 members on each side. So if we can have the senators, please step up.
Stephen, I actually want to add something.
Yes.
So this will also probably be posted on the Records website. I'm Jake from the Record, and I also want to know and to let everybody know that the candidates in contested positions, so that would be president and vice president, did receive clipboards, and they will be taking sort of a quiz on their knowledge of resources on campus to help students. So that will also be exciting, but that will be toward the end after all the students have been able to ask their questions that they feel the candidate should have given. Thank you, Stephen.
All right, no problem. All right, so if the
Move that mysterious bag.
All right, so the senators can please step up and take a seat. And if you can sort of give a little spiel about who you are and why you're running.
Calvin.
Start on with the questions.
That's you.
Calvin, and where's Nick Pauliuc? There you are. All right.
Yeah, that mysterious.
All right, everybody. So we're gonna start from left to right. So you guys are gonna get each around a minute to introduce yourselves, to just who you are, what you're running for, and that. So we're gonna start with Calvin.
Hi, I'm Calvin. I'm running for Calvin Edgar.
Down. Yeah, sorry. You're getting able to see.
Jesus. Oh my God. No, Russell.
We get that under control.
Russell barefoot.
You got the questions?
I think, yeah.
I'll do the timing.
Okay.
I
got the question.
do the questions.
Test.
And after these introductions, I want to step up and also make an announcement for all the candidates to hear. Thank you.
I am, I'm Calvin Edgar. I'm running with the Students First ticket. I have been in general committee this past semester and this semester as well. I've been really excited by the chance to improve and change our BCC in the small ways, the quality of life changes that we can make here. I've got a lot of anticipations about what I can do if I'm a senator, the changes I can make, and specifically using my expertise in graphic design, which I've studied for the last 4 years at Somerset Vocational and Technical High School, just to see what I can do.
Thank you. Next.
Hi there, my name is Stephan Evart. This is my 2nd year at RV, my 3rd semester. I'm a social science major and I'm running for senator, obviously. Through my brief college experience here, I've come to realize how much I love hearing people's stories, learning their issues, and just people are fascinating. I love to hear what you guys have to say. I know people at RV have so many stories to hear. So I figured being SGA Senator would be a great outlet for me to use those stories and issues and actually help you guys and connect with the higher ups and just kind of bridge the gap there. As a member of the LGBTQ+ community, I was hoping to increase diversity and inclusion on campus and also make the campus a more comfortable place to be. Thank you so much. I'm also running with Garret, Students First. Woo!
Hi, my name is Nicholas Pauliuc. This is my 3rd semester here at RV. I'm running for senator. I'm with the Visionaries ticket. The reason I'm running for senator is kind of a personal one, but my brother might be coming to RV, and there are a lot of issues I'm hearing that I want to help out. And my brother encouraged me to run for senator because not only do I want to show people with autism actually have a chance to be in high positions and give hope to them, but also because I really want to have more communication with students and faculty members. And I want to do what students have been suggesting, such as power washing, which I think is a huge issue here and has been brought up multiple times. I want to also say thank you to the senator candidates here.
Thank you. Next.
Hi, everyone. My name is Emma Barrett, and I'm running for senator for next year. I have been in general committee last semester, and I just really enjoyed the work I did there. I like kind of identifying problems around campus and just doing my best to find quick solutions for them, kind of doing all the background work for students here and improving quality of life. I want to streamline the websites, the map systems, and all of the sort of little quality of life situations that'll make your time on campus a lot better. Yeah, I'm a first year environmental science major, and I am running with the Students First ticket.
Question that will be going to be 2 minutes maximum to answer. So I just want to let everybody know that. So starting off with the questions, if we could have the student body, if anybody has any questions for the senators, let's do that. Yes, Mariah.
I noticed that there seems to be a number of tickets. Visionary tickets versus students, like students first tickets. I don't believe traditionally we've had formalized faction on SGA. And does it change that? And what does your ticket actually stand for outside of they want to improve student body?
All right. Do you mind if I take that and sort of define what a ticket is, and then we could have each of the candidates sort of explain what their role is in their ticket? All right. So what a ticket is it's now going to be a formal process of the pooling of resources and joint campaigning for candidates. Because as you'll notice today, there's going to be plenty of Nicholases. So this is really to also help the student body identify who identifies with who. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just more of a formal thing because years in the past too, we've had students campaign together and campaign in groups. So this is more of a formal process of it. So if we could just go around with all the senators, say who they're going to be running with, and sort of what their ticket stands for, starting with you, Cal.
Yeah, so since I'm with Students First, that is Garret, Gerow, Nicholas, Gallo, Stephen Evart, Emma Barrett, Safa, Rizwan, Muhammed Catovic. And what we're interested in doing is trying to create ease of access and simplify two-factor, multi-factor identification. We want to lower tuitions and make it easier to get free textbooks.
Awesome. Yes, I am also running with Students First and Garret, Gerow, and all the wonderful people on the ticket. Our main doctrine is that we're basically, while engagement is amazing, we love student engagement. We want to also increase that. We also want to cater to all students because we know that making the campus a better space is amazing and important. I want that, but a lot of students are night students or they just leave campus, and that's fine. We don't want to force them to have to engage with RV. So we want to lower tuition, theoretically, and then also textbooks, and then get rid of two-factor authentication, just make the process easier and less painful for all students, not just the ones who are very engaged on campus. So that's our doctrine largely.
Yes, me. I'm on the opposite ticket, the visionary ticket. So we understand that not every student wants to necessarily be heavily involved. However, we want to encourage the students to get involved, and we want to have clear communication. And also, we want to have campus be more socially active and encouraging, a very zen and healthy environment. We also want to do issues that have been brought up and change things around, such as taking action.
I'm also with the Students First ticket, and one thing that I think we really stand for is just kind of working with the students. All of us have experience in student government. Most of us are from general committee from the previous semester, and we just really want to kind of hear student voices and make sure that their problems, questions are addressed as quickly and efficiently as possible.
Here's a question, but I'll start with my first one for you.
Bring him on.
A lot of candidates make promises of lower tuition, but rarely, if ever, deliver. If elected, how would you cut money from the school's budget or lobby politicians for more funding to the school?
For starters, maybe have the library not be purposefully underselling books and having a limited stock. I think they can have more books available for students so they don't have to go on Amazon and get them, you know. Just an example. I personally feel like we can really heavily push the college and get students involved, and not just student government, but I also feel like the student body as a whole can do it. So like every student here can put their voice in, which is primarily an issue.
So yeah, ideally we would talk to like local governors and like not governors, local like politicians, so we can actually talk to them about lowering tuition or at least keeping it the same because we don't want it to go up because it's already gone up recently, and that's no bueno. But also we do have the board of trustees like at our fingertips. We can talk to them, we can engage with them. Like they are like at RV, we can talk to them, we have access to them, so that is very doable and manageable, I believe. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly as Stephen said, you know, communicating with local governments, talking to people. You know, the way to kind of access these sorts of changes is just to have a strong voice, not just in RV, but outside of it, and know the people who can help us make these changes, which we definitely do.
And then one thing I wanted to mention is that one thing our ticket is prioritizing is increasing the amount of Z courses available on campus. So basically with the Z course, you do not need to purchase a textbook. It uses a curated collection of outside sources from the internet to kind of act as a textbook for you to learn from in your classes. And I've taken many Z courses. I think they're fantastic. And the more of those we have available, the less money students have to spend on textbooks.
Also, maybe encouraging more for the scholarships here can also be an issue. I think all my senators here agree that we could definitely encourage more students to use scholarships here. I know that's not ideal and preferably tuition should be lowered. I think we're all in agreement on that. So I'm pretty comfortable with everyone's ideas here.
We had a blackout on campus, and students have also complained about the school needing power washing, as well as the water pressure in some of the sinks in the abatement center. Do you believe maintenance at RBCC could be improved? And if yes, how could it be improved?
All right. From my experience in general committee, the number one thing we can do to improve sort of maintenance stuff around campus is to increase communication between all departments. That's academic, that's students, that's faculty, that's maintenance staff. So if the maintenance staff is not hearing our concerns and they don't know we don't want the building's power washed, or they don't know that the pressure is too high in the sinks, then they can't do anything to fix it. All of those things are really easy and relatively cheap fixes. And as long as we have that line of communication, I'm confident we can make that happen.
So I personally feel like we could also encourage the college more to like pressure them to give more funding to maintenance, because if that's been a heavily issue, then I feel like we as students should give faculty, and we have form here at college, we should definitely give them concern. I've seen multiple students, myself included, not been very happy about campus, and its appeal right now is difficult. For example, the West Building sign was cut in half and hadn't been replaced for what? Yeah, last semester. Like, it shouldn't have taken that long.
Beautiful. And also, like, I know, like, in student government, we do have, like, funds accessible to us, so we can, like, like, may not be enough to power wash the whole campus, obviously, but we do have funds that we can, like, allocate to making the campus better. Like, we just need to, like, be in communication with not professors, with with people in the school who have the ability to, like maintenance people. We just need to be in communication with them and use those funds and, like, allocate them properly. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Having, I guess, not just noticing these issues like water pressure, or not just seeing these small sorts of things which bother students, but then may not necessarily be communicated. We want to make sure that we can be the through line from them to these maintenance workers and try to get that out there and try to get that done as soon as possible.
So VP of Finance.
Hello, everyone. My name is Muhammed, and I'm a second semester business major here at RV. So I've been part of general committee with Garret since my first semester. I'm the current VP of MSA here as well. And I'm running with Students First ticket. And pretty much what we want to do and what I want to do as a VP of Finance is pretty much do things such as like securing club budgets and pretty much providing more money towards like social events to get people more engaged, stuff like that. Helping them lower tuition costs, getting access to free books more often. Even possibly getting a tennis court for all students here who want to play tennis, because I love tennis, and a lot more. So you know what to do. Oh yeah, that's definitely one thing I want to do. So I want to hopefully reach out to potentially like chain restaurants and stuff like that. Things like Subway or Subway, and essentially get maybe like a restaurant with other food options in the cafeteria. So we have a more variety of food options that are not just different, but also cheaper. Yeah. Okay, awesome. So, okay, thank you.
And then we got mind if we have somebody else? Sorry.
No, you can absolutely ask a question.
Okay, I was apologizing from the whole activation. You mentioned you want to work in restaurants to like get funding if you're the government.
Yeah.
Now, if the nature of working with private business, funding. The thing is, oftentimes these private businesses will often provide funds in exchange for sometimes other free advertising. There isn't going to be any strings attached to this funding, will there be?
No, hopefully not. So I want to make sure everything is as clear and transparent as possible, and hopefully do whatever I can to just make the process a lot easier and without any involvements of like bribery or stuff like that.
Everybody can hear. Thank you. All right. So the Budget and Resources Advisory Committee is launching a campaign to urge elected officials to increase state funding for community colleges. What are your thoughts on this initiative, and in what ways do you think the committee's involvement can benefit our college? Please provide your opinion and any additional insights you have on this matter.
Okay, yeah. So essentially, the question is pretty much regarding a committee in the state, within the state, right? That's trying to raise money for community colleges. Okay, yeah. So pretty much, honestly, I think that's a great idea. A lot of the problems we have here could be solved just putting money into it, right? Whether it's power washing the campus, getting tennis courts, redesigning the networking lounge, right? Just all these little things is all essentially could be solved with a certain amount of money and a certain amount of work. And I think if community colleges end up receiving more money and getting a much larger budget, they can do things. They'll have a lot more money to put into these things. They'll be able to kind of pass certain goals without having to worry about the financial situation of the college or even lowering tuition costs, right? Because they don't need as much tuition to run the actual college. So I think it's a great idea and it would be really beneficial. Thank you.
We're actually gonna have the rest of the candidates come up, so presidents, vice presidents. Same deal, we're gonna introduce yourselves and we're gonna go from right to left.
Okay. Yep. Hello, everyone. I'm Nick Gallo. I'm running for vice president of the student government. Funny enough, I am currently the president of the student government, which I moved up from vice president, hence why I'm running for re-election as vice president. I've been involved in the student government since my first semester here at RV in 2021, where I was involved in the safety committee, the student-wide committee that was focusing on increasing safety on campus in various different ways. And now I'm running for re-election with Garret on the student first ticket in order to address many issues on campus that we think are pressing and issues that we think can affect all students rather than just a narrow set of people that do matter, but we should try to be addressing as many people as possible. And I'll talk more about my policy platform once I am asked questions. So moving on.
Hello, my name is Garret Gerow. Me and Nick come from humble beginnings together. We both got involved in student government our first semester here, and we've been at it for about a year and a half. It is something that is very important in both of our lives, something that we've dedicated a lot of time to, and we've made a lot of progress with so far. A lot of projects have been started, a lot of things have gone on around the campus. I don't know if you guys have seen the suggestion concern slips. That was mostly me. Nick helped out too. And I want to elevate what I'm currently doing now, and that is why I'm running for president. I know that if I win, I will be able to achieve my goals and projects that I'm working on right now in a greater capacity, and I think that's great. I'm a social science major. I live right down the street, so it's really easy to commute here, so I only have to walk, like 10 minutes to get here if I want to come here whenever. And yeah, I really hope to see more of everybody here. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Nicholas James Langhorne. I'm a math major here, and I'm also founder of the Investors Club. I'm working with Nick Pauliuc and Nick Denzer here, and our motto is your vision, our mission. There's so many brains out there and imaginations that can make this campus what they want to see. And we want to be that transparency in SGA to provide what you want to see. We want to get the sports more involved. I don't know if anyone knows this, but our soccer team went to the national championship. They're very good. But we should have more publicity about that because sports really bring back the spirit here at RVCC. And ever since COVID, I know we've been adapting to this online platform and people come and go and not really on campus. Well, if you go on Rate My Professor, RVCC is one of the best schools in New Jersey. And we are here because we want to be at the best school in New Jersey. But if we can really be the pinnacle of community college and be 2 steps ahead of every other college and create what we want to see, I really believe we can all make a difference in this. And I really want to vouch for my teammates, Nick Denzer and Nick Pauliuc, because they really have been working hard. So thank you.
Beautifully said, Nick. I just want to tell Matt. So hello, everyone. You guys are not going to believe this, but my name is also Nick. So I'm running with the Visionaries. It's Nick, Nick, and Nick. So we have a lot of Nicks up here today. So I wanted to say, as you guys probably noticed, I am absolutely brand new to the student government. You have not seen my face before. And I think that is a very important part of my campaign. I want to bring you guys a chance for something new. All right. My whole idea here is quality of life. All right. So what I did is I went around and I talked to students individually and I asked them, what do you guys want to see improved about RVCC? And I'm sure we'll talk about that more with the questions, but there are some fundamental things that need to be changed here. So with me, I'm brand new and I'm giving you guys a chance for some real change here at RVCC. Thank you.
You ran for president in the previous SGA election. This is your second run, and I'm curious about whether or not your goals and ideas have changed over this past year, or are you still running on the same things that you ran in the previous election?
Thank you. It's a good question. Yes, I did run for president last year, and sadly I lost the election, but I didn't let that stop me. As you can tell, I continued on with student government because it matters that much to me. And I'd like to imagine, well, wouldn't like to, I know that even if I do lose, I will still be in student government. It is that important in my life. I am definitely running on the same things that I ran on last year that I wasn't able to complete simply because I wasn't president this year. And once again, that is minimalize tuition raises, even decrease it if possible. I want more textbook-free classes because that's something that we used to have a big program in student government a few years ago. And more recently, with multi-factor authentication, it is not working as intended, and that needs to be fixed immediately, in my opinion. I think that a lot of students are fed up with it, and I think it's a very large problem because everybody has different levels of technology literacy and technology that they own. And if they aren't able to log into their schoolwork, that is essentially the opposite of what this college should be doing. Does that answer your question? Great.
Is how will you get them done? Will you have any teeth behind your work? Some of the previous leaders of SGA had very flowery, nice things to say, but they had very little of an actual plan to achieve any of their claimed goals, and they never really had much of any actual teeth behind their work. What is your plan? How are you going to actually achieve your goals? What piece is behind your words?
Very good question.
We're actually going to start with Nick on the end over there. Other Nick. Nick Denzer.
Other Nick Denzer, please. Thank you for that question. That was a beautifully worded question, and that's really why I'm running. I've been here. So originally I was going to be here for 1 year, but due to a very unfortunate discovery of a tumor in my face, I had to have a very aggressive surgery. So I'm back for another year. So I'm not able to go to the college I was originally intended on going to. So throughout these 2 years, I've seen fundamental issues that have yet to change. And I completely agree with you. I think that, you can say all the right things and you can get the votes, but what are you really doing, So my campaign is about persistence, fight. So we know what needs to be changed. It's exactly what you said. How much teeth do you have behind it? You need to be persistent and strong. So together. So, all right, would you like to rephrase your question or re-ask your question? Oh, what is the plan? Okay, absolutely, and I'll get that to you. So again, like I said, I want to improve the quality of life. The number one complaint that I got when I asked students what was wrong with campus was food. And it's a very, very valid thing. So I heard some candidates talking about bringing in new vendors to the school. And while the idea, like you said, it sounds beautiful, is it realistic? Is it realistic to get done soon? What I'd like to propose besides that is obviously let's work on that. But additionally, let's do something now. And what we can do now is we can work with local businesses to bring food trucks into campus. So it's an in-between there. So we'll have new vendors on campus, but it most likely won't take as long to get passed because if you're working with private business, I believe like you said, correct? It's very difficult to get to intertwine that with the campus. So food trucks is a very happy medium there. Another project that I'd like to do is I'd like to work on, I know, I believe it was the VP of Finance. You said tennis courts, correct? Oh, is it 2 minutes? All right, so I'm so sorry. I hope that answered your question somewhat.
So it's axiomatic that all of our presence here show their actions, and we're here to represent the student body. When I came here last semester, I wanted to start the Investors Club. I had this image in my mind that there's people out there that like this stuff too. And so when I founded the Investors Club and I took the action then, it's begetting the further actions that I'm going to do. That club is running and there are people communicating all amongst each other, and we really have built a tribe there. And so that is applicable to what is now. The action. So the demands, we want to communicate with the student body. We feel that communication, there's 6,000 people here. There's 6,000 people here. But when we only get 8 suggestions out of 6,000 people, there's a lack of communication. And so what I'm saying is that my persistence with the Investors Club and taking action then will be much applicable to what I'm running for now. And our presence here right now, I hope, shows that we want to take your ideas and create them a reality.
Great. To answer your question, Varaya, I have spent the last semester and a half meeting with faculty members on campus and administrators. I've had dozens of meetings with everybody involved in like the higher ups. I've met with 3 of the 4 deans on campus. I've met with almost every academic chairperson in charge of all of the 8 departments that make up all of the different, academics on campus. As stated before, in order to get more turnout, we've already started getting dozens of suggestions and concerns from the slips that I've been responsible for hanging up around campus. In terms of our current goals that we're running on, tuition, we have, as Nick, this is more Nick's thing, and I'm sure he'll talk about it more, but we talk to the Board of Trustees every monthly meeting that they have. We go there in person and we speak to them. We let them know what we're doing. That's one of the things. Number 2 is actually physically going to local and county government to our county spends more money on golf courses than our college, which is ridiculous. That's absurd. And I will be the voice that physically goes there and makes a stand against that. In terms of textbooks, that has to do with the department chairs that I've been meeting with. They're in charge of deciding what courses and how professors handle their different classes, and talking to them will increase the chance of bringing a lot of those things back. And then lastly, with multi-factor authentication, a lot of it has to do with the tech department, which is a notoriously kind of insane department on campus that a lot of people have complaints about. I am currently actually making a plan as we speak for this week to deal with them. I can give you details, but I don't think there's enough time. Thank you.
All right, can you just briefly restate your question, just so I... Okay, so would it be fair to like extend that question to like how would I deal with fighting for issues on campus because of that kind of stuff? Okay, so in my time in student government currently, I have done a lot of things. I could talk about tuition, I could talk about food, I could talk about a lot of this stuff. I am on the statewide committee, the NJ Council of Community Colleges Student and Advisory Committee. In my role in student government, I am on this committee. This committee lobbies the state government to fund community college more. I go to a meeting pretty much every month where we discuss how we could do that. That is something that I've been doing since I've started in student government, and it's something I plan on continuing. Relative to food, I chair the food committee now with Nick Pauliuc, thank you. And in that role, we are going to go to the administration, specifically people like John Trojan, who oversees that kind of stuff. And we are going to talk to them. We are going to figure out what we can do as the student government in order to advocate for students and in order to deliver results for them. That is what I plan on doing and continue doing when I get reelected. And in addition to that, just one final thing, I'm on the Environmental Sustainability Committee. We try to make this campus very sustainable. And in doing that, we have been in direct talks with the food contractor, the people that run the food on campus. We have had meetings with them where we are trying to discuss ways that we could bring higher quality food, more variety of food. There is a 70-page document in my OneDrive right now that this company gave me about literally every food option we could have on campus, whether that be from different vendors or whether that be just something they have supply of. And I plan on continuing to do that, continuing to advocate for students and continuing to advocate for those improved quality of life on campus. Thank you.
Great. I also just wanted to make everybody aware of the fact that until this semester, we didn't have requirements to meet with the people in charge of the college. That was me that did that. I got a new resolution passed so that we are required to meet with the academic chair people of departments, because I think that is incredibly important, and it's kind of insane to me that that wasn't a thing that we were already required to do. That's it.
So your question is asked because I feel like there's a lack of the teeth in SGA right now. I mean, Christian, whatever happened to him, apparently the actions there weren't happening. And so we're new here. We cannot exasperate our experience in the field and stuff that we cannot do. But for example, the West Building sign has been down for months now. And that's just another lack of action that we really want to bring new to SGA, because there was a recent event where there was an ambulance that came. And what if that ambulance said, oh, go to the West Building? But they don't know where the West Building is. So the lack of action here is our top priority. And to really act is our priority.
I got a question about that then.
Can I answer this first? All right, so just a quick comment. Again, just like Nick said, we are brand new to this. We want to introduce something new, okay? We've both been here for a while, and, quite honestly, have we seen action? Maybe there's some behind the scenes stuff. Maybe there's a lot of talking, but is there action? That's the question. That's the real question. So we want to do action. We're going to get stuff done. And that's all.
Hello, everybody. I apologize for being late. I did have an honors college meeting. I just had to attend for a few minutes. No, yeah, but I'm very honored to be here. I'm very honored to be able to have the opportunity for this role, and hoping that you guys will vote for me. I am currently working with Amber, who's the current VP of Info and Media, and have been undersiding her and seeing how the experience is like. So I would say thanks to her, I have gotten the feel for it and have gotten into the groove of things, very thankfully. Yeah, so did I say my name by any chance? Just in case, I'm Safa Rizwan. It's very nice to meet everybody. I'm hoping by the time if elected as VP of Info and Media, I'm hoping that within the coverage of media, our college, to introduce a new platform of how our college is viewed by the community. Our community is one of the most important things that we have here, not just beyond student body, but our community is what gives us funding, and what gives us new opportunities. By then, under working with Garret and Nick and the rest of the team that we have, which you will see on flyers, by the way, hopefully within that, bringing in and shedding a new light onto how our student body, the achievements we have, the plans we have, meeting with higher administration, we'll get more opportunities for the students, as well as funding, things like that. And yeah, I really appreciate it.
Unfortunately, since Safa did show up late, she will not be able to answer any questions.
And here I have a hand up, so. I just had a question for but if there's a break,
That was just a break right there. We're resuming questions now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have two questions, but I'm just gonna ask the one that I think is so the question is directed for so I am the president of the Alliance, which is and accessibility on our club is very important. And something that we struggle with is not only stuff with the digital actions, but
Sometimes accessibility and stuff like that. How are you planning to, like you said, you wanted to be the voice for every student. How are you planning on being the voice for students from every demographic? How are you going to accomplish that as someone who is a social media great.
The environment here can be improved. We really want to build a more aesthetically pleasing, zen, encouraging environment for everybody. And I truly believe that if we make the environment we want to see, it will encourage all of us to be ourselves. And I feel like that's very, very important for diversification and just for everyone to have their best time here. And talking about accessibility, something I mentioned also is that we're trying to get a third student hour. I don't know if you're talking about accessibility for your club, but we want to create another student hour here because I also cannot join as many clubs as I want. I'm president of the Investors Club, but I want to do debate club. And so if we can separate time into segments that encourage our students to hang out here because we really want to improve the social life, I really feel like that all ties into the environment and being ourselves. Yeah, well, I've done a lot of talking around campus, and a lot of people in the community want to see pride flags to represent them and feel more safe. That's what some people have said. But I really do believe that it falls back on the encouraging environment. If we can create a safe haven for people to be themselves, any group can excel. Minority, whoever it is, they really can. We want to create a safe haven here.
Are you going to find for like students, like for example, bathrooms not always be. Like, what are you going to do to advocate for those minorities, especially since you're not a part of the
Details, I got you. So talking to people really, really helps. I've had so many conversations with individuals on the campus from all different specializations, ethnicities, and diversity. And by listening to them and being that transparent eyeball for everybody here to say, hey, this is what I want to see happen, that's what we're going to make happen.
So I just want to intervene real quick. I want to open up this question to all the candidates rather than just the two. So Garret and Gallo will also have a response to this question. So we are going to go with the first one with Nick Denzer answering this question. Then we're going to jump back to the other ticket and have them answer. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm sorry, could you just repeat the question? I just want to make sure I can answer it.
for those voices as people are presumably of a higher privilege?
Sure, that's a great question. Thank you very much. So there's a reason I didn't really introduce my accomplishments or really much about me in my introduction, because frankly, it's not about me. It's about the student body, which you guys want. And that's why the first thing I did in my campaign is I got a general sense of what people want on campus. So to answer your question, the best way that we can do that, because maybe we're not intertwined with certain communities or the likes, but we need to be able to speak to them. We need to talk to them. We need to understand what they want. It's not my agenda. Our agenda is not about what we want, or it's not based off what we've accomplished. It's what we can do to encourage students and what we can do to improve the quality of life for students. So communication, that would be my answer. Communication with the students. And through that, persistence to what they want.
How do you plan on doing that communication?
Should I answer that or should I? Okay. Sure.
What I'm seeing is a lot of talk about what you want, but I don't see any who's behind it, you know what I'm saying? Like, you always have to have like a plan. If you don't put that thing on, you gotta make sure you got it back.
Sure.
That's the thing about leadership. You always gotta be prepared for anything that can be thrown at
Yeah.
30 seconds, and then next candidates.
Beautifully said. So again, we're brand new here, so we have not been part of the student government, at least in that position. I'm sorry, Nick, you might have been. I have not. So, I'm sorry. Could you ask your question one more time? Sorry, there's a lot there.
The thing that I'm saying is, you need to be telling like what you're actually gonna do. Like, you need your plan behind it.
Mhm.
We're gonna see what you're thinking. Like,
Sure.
you're gonna see this communication.
Gotcha.
You know, we all want communication. That's like a 100% priority, but we need to know how you're gonna go and establish that communication for the students. 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
This one's another question. Give me 20 seconds.
20 seconds. Fair. So again, communication. So what we need to do is we need to improve, students' ability to communicate with us. We need to go out. Me and Nick need to do the work. We need to talk to them one-on-one. We need to do flyers. We need to do surveys. And we need to encourage students to actively participate in answering these questions because they're there, but are they doing them? Probably not. So we need to encourage that.
All right, so there's been a lot of talk about what we will do. Now, I'll talk about what I have been doing and what I am continuing to do in my role in student government. Now, I am the liaison for the Alliance Club here on campus. I think it is I think it is great that I can have such a good relation with the club in order to represent their interests on campus and help them fix issues that they deal with on a daily basis. The name change form, that was something that had a lot of issues at the beginning of the year where students would try to update their preferred name and they couldn't because someone in the administration did not open the form and look at it. Now, I contacted those people through Russell, through other people in order to get that updated so these students can use their preferred name. Gender neutral bathrooms. I've been advocating for gender neutral bathrooms with the Alliance since before I was in the student government. Since since spring of 2022, I have been doing that. And I continue to do that. I have a meeting with John Trojan sometime within the next 2 weeks who oversees faculties. And we will discuss gender neutral bathrooms. 3 gender neutral bathrooms just opened in the art building. Gender neutral bathrooms are opening very frequently in the rest of campus. And I plan to continue doing that because that is what student government should be doing. And at the end of the day, it is what we need to do. And I hope that answers your question. So.
I can actually do this.
And at the beginning of when I first started going to the Alliance, the idea for a neurodivergent club. I'm just wondering, like, if you have any examples of what you've done for other minority groups. That would be good.
Great. I am happy to answer that. And I'm sorry, but I can't speak on the neurodivergent issue. I'm sure Nick would be better at that, but it is my turn. I would like to mention that I think Nick beautifully put all the LGBTQ issues that he's handled so far. He's really taken a really good role in that, and I'm proud of him for doing so. I worked with the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Committee, as well as MSA with Muhammed over here. And we were able to get a prayer room a meditation room that can be used as a prayer room. It's currently in the science building, and that was something that we directly contributed to this semester or last semester as well. I think that because Nick and I are in a position where we don't fit into these minority groups, we have to take an even greater look at them and speak out to groups such as yourself and MSA, like groups that we normally don't affiliate with, so then that way we can help them better.
I got one. What are you going to do about the browser security of the campus? Currently, the recommended browser by the school is Chrome, but that's not as safe as Firefox. What will you do about that?
So I don't think I could really speak much on the individual browser security because that's something that the tech services overall is I don't think they're really looking into that, but I can speak to other forms of security if that's fine by you, such as two-factor authentication, where tech services at the beginning of this year, at the beginning of this school year, they said we're going to introduce two-factor authentication. It got pushed back, it got pushed back, and pushed back. It finally got introduced. Now, pretty much everybody needs to log in with two-factor authentication every single time they use their device, and it is a pain. Not everybody experiences that, but a lot of people do. I know myself, if I go from if I log onto my computer at home compared to my laptop, I'm going to be doing it every single time I turn on that computer. And that is not what two-factor authentication was intended to be used for. It was supposed to be 1 week. It was supposed to be not as frequent as it is now, and that is not good because when students are trying to access their schoolwork at home and all this other stuff, it is not acceptable that they have to be constantly updating this and constantly logging in, which hinders their ability to do that. And communicating with tech services these issues and the tech committee and forum, that is something I in the student government am doing now, and I am planning to continue doing just to fix those issues and to address them.
Great question, Peter. We've been talking about this for probably a couple weeks now, and I've really made an effort to hear you out and what you want to see done with it. And you told me that you were going to come here and answer this question. I'm glad you're here to do that. I really do appreciate it. And so the steps moving forward is me and you sit down. We talk about this issue. We go to IT. When I get elected, we'll go to IT and we'll talk about this issue and we'll get it solved. If it's for the better good of the college and making a better quality of life here, we will get it done.
It's not only more secure, but this switch would also mean that it would get rid of the ads. So that's an annoyance I've taken away. To try and help.
Yes, I do not like ads either.
Did you say that it would make your grades higher by 1 grade letter?
Yes. And I'll stop buying stuff too from the ads. It's 90.
Could you please repeat the question?
My question was, are we going to try and switch the recommended browser from Chrome to Firefox because Firefox is more secure than Chrome, and it can get these two extensions into our originally decentralized that is more secure?
Mm-hmm.
Because I've been worried about that. My mother's been doing weird shit recently. And I'm worried that we or some random criminals may message with this college.
Mm-hmm. So I was not aware of this particular issue, but I really appreciate what Nick said. So about communication, that you guys have been discussing this. This is a prime example of something that, we need to get a good sense of what the students feel about this. So I appreciate that concern. I don't really know about that specific concern, but I'd love to learn more about it, and I'd love to see if other students feel the same way. And if that is a major concern at the college, then consider it, our issue that we're going to work on.
Yeah, it could come right a live concern. That's why. Sorry. Oh no. All right, same question. Oh, I don't know. You don't need to? All right. So, Amber, if you want to ask a question, grab the mic, please. Thank you.
All right. So, what inspired you to run for SGA, and what personal qualities and experiences do you bring to the role that will help you be an effective leader for the student body? So, we're going to start again.
Okay. Start with
This is a hard one. I am not an extrovert, I would say. I would say I can be an extrovert when I really need to be. But generally speaking, I like doing things. I come to this campus when I don't have class. All of my first semester at this school, I would go on days just to show up to club meetings. And that sort of has just been a part of my life for a while now. I mean, I was in Boy Scouts as a kid. I almost got to Eagle, but then COVID happened, unfortunately. I've just always sort of been the kind of guy that likes physically working on things. And when I can see that there are things that can be worked on and I have the ability to do it, and I know it'll affect me and my friends and others, I don't see a reason why not to do it. That's just sort of what it is at the end of the day. Being in student government obviously makes me happy. I've done it, as I said, since I've gotten to school here, and I even continued doing it after I lost the election last year. And I think that, I don't, I don't want it to come off like bragging, but I really just enjoy helping others, I guess, is what it is at the end of the day. Yeah, hopefully that answers the question.
All right, thank you. We're gonna go with Nick Denzer next.
Can we just get a repeat of the question real quick? Is that okay? Mm-hmm. Okay, that's a great question. I'd really like to kind of turn that on the fact that, what have you done is great, and who are you is great, and leadership qualities are incredibly important, but it's also, what are you going to do? It's not about us, it's about you guys. So leadership. So I am the president and founder of the Leadership Growth and Mindset Initiative. It's an outside of school club. Basically, we're an organization. I'm also the CEO and founder of my own company. It's called By Earth for Earth. It's a eco-friendly apparel company where we make apparel out of sustainable materials. And I work with an organization called One Tree Planted, where every piece of apparel you buy, one tree gets planted. So again, just like Garrett said, not for bragging rights, but I do feel like I exhibit good leadership skills. But at the end of the day, it's sincerely not about me. It's about what you guys want and what I can do to help you guys. I feel like I'm a little bit indebted to the school. Like I briefly touched upon, I was supposed to be here for simply a year, but due to a very unfortunate discovery of a tumor, I ended up staying for a second year, and I might have to stay for an extra year after that, because I'm going to require additional surgeries. But what RV's done for me is that it's provided me with a place where I can continue my education without, while healing. And it's been a very, very difficult process. So I feel very indebted to RV, and we're all here for various, number of reasons. So I feel like, if I can help someone else, maybe going through something similar, or, just for any other reason, then it's very valid to me. Was that a question, or? Can you repeat the question? Sure. So I'll address what made me run for student government in the first place. Last year, I got involved early. I met a lot of people in the student government, and I saw what they were working on, what they were trying to do, and how they were trying to impact this campus, and that resonated with me heavily. Being able to go around to students and hearing their story and hearing what issues they have on campus and what they want to be addressed, whether that be at an individual level, a club level, or just like a department level as a whole, that is something I genuinely think is a worthwhile cause to address. And because of that, I want to be involved in helping those individuals and those groups and making sure their experience here is as good as it possibly can be. Because when people, there's a bit of a stigma around community college, and people like coming here and they're like, oh, you're going to community college, ew. And like that's not good. You should be able to come here. You should be able to have a good time. You should be able to have a college experience. You should be able to come here and make friends and make an impact on whatever level of the society that you want to. And I want to be able to help you so you can do that. And that is the reason I'm running for student government. And I think my motivation in doing that, which is not really gone away despite any negative things that might have happened within student government or within my own mental health. I think that it speaks to why I should be reelected to student government, why I should still be helping address these issues for people on campus. I already went. Yep.
The question again, please. Mm-hmm. Great question. When I came here at RVCC last semester and had the vision of starting the Investors Club, I felt called to serve my community. I'm real big into philosophy, and when you help yourself first and then your family, and you've gotten those two down, then you can start to help your community. And when I was starting the Investors Club, I felt very limited with student life because first off, it took me about 3.5 weeks to get a room for my club to run. And I also couldn't do weekly flyers, and I was like, like this is more paralyzing than promoting. And so Nick Pauliuc came up to me one day and he was like, hey, I think this was about in December. He was like, I think you'd be a great president. And so no coincidences, I had this deep yearning to help my community. And I truly believe it is my time and purpose now to make the best of RVCC for my community. And the qualities and experience that I have, one thing that I very pride myself on is the ability to talk to people and listen. I can confidently say that I have had meaningful conversations with probably over 50% of the people in this room. And I've learned from every single one of them. And we're a tribe here at RVCC. We're all here right now. It is our time and purpose here. And so to listen to those people and to hear what they want, I can be that transparent eyeball for the tribe to make this community college one of the best in New Jersey and the pinnacle of what a community college should be.
So I want to thank everybody here for the questions. The last 10 minutes or 7 minutes of this session, Jacob from the record here is going to sort of you have your clipboards. He's going to ask sort of like a trivia question regarding questions about Raritan Valley Community College, and we'll test the knowledge of these candidates. All right, Jacob, you want to?
Thank you, Stephan. So, my first question is, where would a student go if they did up with their assignments? Where would a student go if they did up with their assignments? And for everybody in the audience, please do not blurt anything out. Where does a student go if they need help with their assignments?
They want to put their expertise and
All right, so Nick Langhorne said tutor center or campus. I'll count that because it's close enough to the tutoring center. Nick Denzer said campus, professor / tutoring center. That's a pretty acceptable answer, if you ask me. Garret was right, and I guess Nick is right. So yeah. Well, okay, I should say Nick Gallo.
Just going to step in real quick again. We're going to have 10 seconds each to answer the question. So, yeah. Next.
All right, so a student needs advice on which classes to take. Where on campus will they go? A student needs advice on which classes to take. Where on campus will they go?
All right.
Answers? Advising. Wait, I can't reduce. Okay, and what's advising and counseling? So everybody is correct. Very good.
Question.
Who are the president and VP of Finance and Facilities at RVCC? Well, first of the college, and then who's the VP of Finance? The VP of Facilities at RVCC. Yeah. It is.
Five seconds. All right.
Answers. They do not have answers. Nick Langhorne and Denzer have no answers. So Garret answered President McDonough and John Trojan. And same as Nick Gallo.
Next question. Those were correct, right?
Oh yeah, of course they're correct.
Next question.
Alrighty then. Oh, wait, where am I? Where can an officer of a club find a budget request form? A budget request form.
5 seconds. All right, answers.
Harvey Commons. Wait, did he put Nick? Okay, good. Everybody got it correct. You could have also put on lines then, but we're pretty good. Yes, and my last question. Whenever everybody's ready. And last one also. What exactly does the A board do? The A board.
Activities board. The A board.
The A board.
All right.
Answers.
Trans activities and events.
Correct, and correct. I mean, I probably said it 5 times, but you get my point. Everybody's good. Except on the issue of who's the president and vice president. Thank you, Stephen.
All right, so I just want to make an announcement here too. Voting will open up soon. So Russell, do you want to come up here and sort of explain how to get to the website and the voting process? Yep.
Multiple ways.
Open RV Connect, click on SGA Elections, click on Vote Now.
Wow, it's so easy.
Or just come up and whisper in my ear which one of these two you want. RV Commons, Student Life homepage or the Student Government homepage. There is a link right on the top to SGA Elections. We actually have a page just about the elections so that you can click to find out more about these candidates if you didn't get all your questions answered today. But they all were given the opportunity to provide a bio, photo, and a video. And if they did, it is available there right now. So you can go find a little bit more about them before you vote. All righty. I want to ask a question of you before.
So if we could just give one final round of applause for all the candidates here. All right. And that will conclude the last Meet the Candidates event. So I want to thank everybody here again. And if Russell didn't already say this, show up to his office. We will be implementing the ticketing to the ballot. We'll take a selfie right here.
Yeah.
All right. Yes.
I will hopefully post this on the RVCC Records website by the end of the day. That is rvccrecord.com. Thank you very much, and thank you, Stephen, for hosting this event.
All right. And that concludes this session.
Anyone got a baby I can kiss? All right.